In this edition of the Amistad Podcast, we will provide an overview of the Amistad curriculum website and how educators in New Jersey can develop lesson plans at every level of the K-12 system. And so a little bit about the evolution of the New Jersey Amistad curriculum website. Many teachers struggle with effectively teaching African American history, which extends beyond the terrible institution of slavery. Students should understand that Africans, before enslavement, came from diverse kingdoms and societies with rich intellectual and cultural traditions. In New Jersey, persons of the African diaspora have always been influential in contributing to the state's cultural, economic, social, political, and artistic development. Highlighting these contributions demonstrates to students, regardless of their racial or financial status, how they can emulate them so that they, too, can be influential in their adult pursuits and becoming productive and fair-minded citizens in New Jersey. In that regard, the Amistad Commission has launched a curriculum website that educators can access to adopt sample lesson plans developed by veteran educators across the state that meet the New Jersey standards. This platform can help reduce teacher anxiety, as we are aware that teaching African American history can be perceived as teaching hard history, or teachers limit their instruction only to Black History Month, or the HERO curriculum that is focusing on individuals, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, W.E. Du Bois, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Civil Rights Movement. The curriculum instruction portal here is a fantastic resource for educators. And so today, we will hear from Ms. Andrea Bear, education planner, to introduce you to the Amistad curriculum website and the resources available to teachers in New Jersey to develop effective lesson plans for teaching African and African American history across the K-12 system. With that said, I would like to introduce Andrea. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mills. It's a pleasure to be here.
Very good. Can you provide our listeners with an overview of the Amistad curriculum website?
Yes, the Amistad curriculum website was formulated to assist New Jersey educators to infuse African American history into their daily curriculum routines. When they go through their discipline and their subjects, it's supposed to be infused within all areas of academic content, not just necessarily social studies and not just necessarily, as we were saying, for Black History Month. Amistad curriculum can be infused within teaching throughout the entire school year. And as we said, it can be infused in any content, curriculum, and discipline.
Good. So who can access this website and how?
Anyone can access the website. It's just not limited to New Jersey educators. It is completely free. There is no subscription service required for any individual or school district that would like to access the website. It's NJAACC.com on the internet. And once you enter into the website, we suggest that you register. And when you log in, that way you'll be able to receive updates and notifications when we do changes and different additions to the website.
Well, that's very good. So so it's not just for New Jersey folks. It's accessible for anybody.
True. Parents, students,
Okay, parents.
any type of educator within New Jersey, any type of individual, anyone is welcome to join our service.
Good. So can you guide us through a sample lesson plan? Or if a new person, let's say, maybe, we'll pretend I'm a new educator here and I want to go to the site and start playing around with it.
Sure. It's very user-friendly. And I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the website itself. Website for the NJAACC. This is our opening screen that tells you about the commission and our history, as well as gives you information about our commissioners and our staff. When you look across the top of the NJAACC.com website, you'll see it's broken into various subtopics. We have a section that tells about our history and our mission and our goals. We have a section about news that gives information about events and current happenings and things that we wish for the public to join us, not just educators. The public is welcome to join us with our events. We have learning units that are for educators, but also parents and students can take a look at our learning units. We have a Get Involved section for educators or general public that would like to work with us. Professional development section for educators also, once again. But also in our professional development, it gives you information about local events that are happening within other organizations, not just our organizations. And it gives you historical resources and information about our local historical societies throughout the state of New Jersey.
Very good. So I'm the new person. I go on to the NJAACC.com. So I have to log in, correct?
Yes, it's important that you log in. That way you'll have full advantage into all of the aspects within our curriculum website.
So I'll log in, create a new account just like you do with anything else. I don't think we have to walk through that. I think we do that all the time with everything. And so now let's say I'm I don't know, I guess elementary, I guess maybe was a fourth grade teacher or a fifth grade teacher. And I would go on, I click grades 3 to 5 there and see what might interest me.
Yes, if you're a fourth grade teacher, normally a teacher will begin in their particular academic and discipline. But we encourage teachers from K through 12 to take a look at all of our lessons and all of our subjects, because even though you may be a fourth grade teacher, there may be something in a lower grade in our K to 2 or even in our upper grades of a topic or subject that may interest you and spark you to maybe create a lesson plan based on a particular topic or discipline.
Okay.
If we look in a third to fifth grade plan, currently right now we have 13 lesson plans that are up and functioning, and we're continuing to work on the lesson plans as we continue to grow. There are 3 pages full of lesson plans. I'm going to skip to the third page because it has one of my favorites, the Baseball and Belonging, the story of the Negro Baseball Leagues. So if I click on that particular lesson, you'll see that although it's designed for grades 3 through 5, when I click on the lesson plan, it's going to give me an overview that tells me all about the Negro Baseball Leagues and what this particular lesson entails. As I continue scrolling down, the New Jersey Social Studies Learning Standards are listed there for the teacher. But even though they're social studies standards, they are adaptable to any content and discipline. So it gives you a brief overview of what a teacher in grades 3 through 5 would look at with their social studies standards, but it's easily adaptable to any particular discipline that a teacher is working through. Also, with this particular lesson, so we have our standards there. We also give you a gallery of pictures, so your children can have additional information through visual aids. We give you materials. The materials for this particular lesson are a read aloud, a book called Let Them Play. There's a map of the United States with Negro Baseball League cities marked, and there is an updated map of Negro Baseball Leagues also marked. So you have 2 maps of Negro Baseball Leagues, and you also have a read aloud by Margaret Thayus Raven. Majority of our lessons in kindergarten through 5th grade are literature based. We have social studies standards, but the majority of them have a read aloud that's already embedded within the program. So when a teacher does a lesson plan with us, they don't have to search for the particular book or they don't have to search for materials. Everything is embedded for them right within the program itself,
Very good.
which is a time saver.
Yes.
As we continue further, we look at our individual lesson plan. In stage 1 of this particular plan, it's giving you the big ideas of what the lesson is going to entail. It's giving you the essential questions of what essentially your outcome should be and what your children should learn. And it gives you the enduring understandings, pretty much the conclusion about what the whole lesson is going to sum up to entail.
Mm-hmm.
In stage 2, of this particular lesson, and it's very user-friendly, and with new teachers writing their lesson plans, it gives you the teacher background knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
it also gives you the objective. And with new teachers writing lesson plans, they sometimes have difficulty writing measurable lesson plans that give a particular outcome of what they hope to accomplish with their students. So your objective is right there. It would just be a matter of taking that objective and writing it into your individual lesson plans. So you have your curriculum built in, you have your resources built in, you have your objectives built in, and you have your evaluation and assessment built in.
Okay.
In stage 3, we give you the lesson structure. And when we look at the lesson structure, I like to call this the cheat sheet or the script for the teacher. When we look at our materials, they're already embedded there for you. We have chart paper and sentence starters for you.
Mm-hmm.
We also give you the lesson structure, your warm-up activity of how to begin your lesson. We give you the script for the read aloud and the historical context that you would share with your children. We give you primary source analysis through the gallery to give you the visuals and pictures that are going to be accompanying this particular lesson. We give you biography snapshots, even of players. And we give you a creative reflection that you can use with your students and your closure or your exit ticket. That way you can wrap up your lesson and give complete information as to how the lesson was reflected with your children, and you can review to ensure that your children have achieved the objective that you started with at the very beginning.
Very good. And that share button there, I saw that in the last one. Where does that go? If somebody's curious about what the share is. Is
The
that just
share
the lesson
button
materials?
The
Is
share
that
button allows you to share with others. If you have something particularly there that you like and you would like to possibly share with another recipient so they can see it ahead of time. So it allows you to share the lesson plan to others, and then they can in turn register with the website.
okay? Great.
And in some of our lesson plans, this one has a stage 4. It gives you the assessment of what your children should learn at the end of all of the teaching and all of the reflections. You had given one more exit ticket. And in some of our lessons, there's an optional extension that you can use for homework or you can use for independent practice, depending on the ability levels of your children. Some teachers use them for additional extensions for children that maybe finish early or those that want to do additional research outside of the classroom.
Very good.
So there's many things built within a lesson. They're all very compact and infused right inside each individual lesson so that a teacher can just go in, pick up the entire lesson, and not have to research any additional components for the lesson.
Very good. Can we try another one? Maybe at one of the higher grades, maybe 6 through 8. I think there's 6 through 8,
Sure.
just to give a little perspective.
Now, one thing I do want to stress about this particular lesson that
Uh-huh.
I like, and as we mentioned in the beginning of our discussion, that lessons are able to be expanded and extended, even though this is a lesson for 3rd through 5th grade, because it talks about Negro baseball leagues. And when you mention high school physical education teachers can easily pick up this lesson
Mm-hmm.
and use it as a springboard to their teaching when they talk about baseball or softball within their own individual classroom units. So even though we're talking about social studies, when we're talking about the standards and the history, we're talking about English, when we're talking about writing and giving assessments and starting questions and open-ended questions and exit tickets. For students, we're also talking about math when we talk about baseball averages and scores.
Mm. Right.
And also, we can talk about science with this particular lesson when we talk about the swing, the pitch, the speed of the pitch. I'm not a baseball aficionado, but when
Right.
you talk about the speed of the pitch, whether it's a curveball, whether it's a slider,
Right.
those are all scientific things that a science teacher could possibly get into with their students.
And the physiology of movement.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. As I said, I'm not a science person, but science teachers would love to talk about different pitches. Going further, if we take a look in higher units, for example, if we look at grades 6 through 8, Once again, this particular grade band has 12 learning units within inside. And each of our learning units has its own particular topic, has its own particular standards. But one of my other favorites is about colored troops and buffalo soldiers. So once again, as a teacher in grades 6 through 8, a social studies teacher may pick up this particular lesson, go through the overview, and at the bottom, the social studies teacher will have the standards. Let's see if I can pull this down further. The social studies teacher will have the standards listed, but as you notice in this particular lesson, there is a visual arts standards. When you see additional standards, the lessons do have other disciplines infused within. So for this particular lesson, there's a visual arts standards that's going to infuse the art teacher. So it can be at middle level, it can be at high school level, but some of the lessons do have additional standards built within and not just social studies as their particular aspect. Social studies is the base, but it springboards into other areas and other disciplines.
Very good.
So as we go further to take a look at this lesson, once again, gallery of pictures are there.
Mhm.
Once again, materials are listed. And as you see, when it listed the visual arts standard in this particular lesson, you're looking at a painting analysis worksheet, which means it's going to correspond with your art teacher. So for this particular lesson, even though it's a social studies base for the facts and figures and the information during that time period, your art teacher could take a painting during this particular era. And in that painting, we can analyze who are the characters within the painting, what are the characters doing, and why was the painting made, and how do you think it reflected society during that particular time period. So these are all objectives and activities that a social studies teacher can coordinate and do thematic teaching with an art teacher, interdisciplinary teaching.
Okay.
As we go further and go back, we have the background content. And as you notice with some of our lessons, it may ask you to download, but when you're downloading and it gives you the information for Buffalo Soldiers at the top, it enables you to edit the particular lesson and background content. If the teacher would like to read the information to her students, she's more than welcome. If a teacher has students that are not of the ability level to read through all of the particular information, a teacher can break it up or chunk into segments, or a teacher can reword the lesson itself so that students have the ability to read at their particular ability levels. So although this is a lesson plan for 6th through 8th, a high school teacher may pick it up and may adapt it to their particular ability level of their students. So even though you see enable editing, or if you may see download content, that means that the particular web page or the information page that you're looking at is able to be altered to the ability level of your student.
Okay. And then in the curriculum there, if you click on there for this particular lesson, what are they getting in this lesson?
In this lesson, once again, we're listing the desired results, the enduring understanding, the essential questions, and once again, the objectives for the teacher to just basically copy right into their lesson plan. And they are measurable objectives for the teacher to review with the students. In stage 2, we're giving you the assessment evidence. So once you have your objective, you do have to have a measurable outcome to reflect upon the lesson to make sure that you have achieved your goal when you set out to do your particular lesson. So that's a plus for teachers, because if you're writing lessons and you're writing objectives, you want to make sure that you achieve what you're beginning to teach. And if not, then you can reflect back and see what components or what areas you may need to reteach.
Very good.
In the lesson plan, once again, we have your script. It'll give you your content background knowledge for the paintings. And as I said, with thematic teaching, a lot of art teachers will already have the thematic background and content for the particular paintings. Your social studies teachers will also have the information as to what the content reflects upon that particular time period and era. It gives the teacher a do now activity as an anticipatory set for warm up. It gives them the direct instruction as to how to present the slides, what to reflect upon in certain slides, and questioning to ask your students. It gives you guided practice of how to do your lesson step by step, and it also gives you independent practice for the children. So once again, this is your script that you go through when you teach this particular lesson. And if you need to reflect again, it gives you additional guided practice so that if your children have any difficulties in the beginning or middle of the lesson, it allows you to repeat back and review and get additional guided practice for clarity.
Very good.
And once again, at the bottom, you have your closure or your exit ticket, and you have a homework reflection if you'd like to use that beyond the classroom. And this particular lesson gives additional resources for the Buffalo Soldiers and that particular topic.
Right. So we have a little bit more time left. Can we look at maybe a high school one? I'm just curious. Is there one that you think about most jumps out at you at the high school level?
When we look at the high school grades 9 through 12, there are 13 units within this particular section. And the high school level is a little bit more detailed into the social studies aspect due to the curriculum being departmentalized in high school settings and in some middle school settings. We have 3 pages of lessons. And in the 3 pages of lessons, there are numerous topics that a teacher can work through
Hmm.
depending on their curriculum guide and their pacing. A contemporary lesson would be the anti-apartheid movement and African American activists. So once again, your teacher is given a brief background in reference to the lesson.
Hmm.
You have your New Jersey learning standards written at the bottom, but if you're doing interdisciplinary teaching with your English teacher or your ELA teacher or your language arts teacher, there's also standards to tie in to work with your math teacher. So even though social studies will give you the base and the background and the content, it can springboard into any particular area and discipline within the school. As you see with this particular lesson, it's a much more contemporary area that the teachers are coming to, leading up to, I believe it was 1948 to 1994.
Hmm.
It gives you a list of the materials. And in this particular lesson, there's an extensive list of materials,
Okay.
documents, PDFs, essay rubrics, templates that can be used for many different areas of this particular lesson. So pretty much there's a lot that can be covered within this lesson. It's not going to be done within one particular 45-minute or 40-minute time period during a day. It's going to possibly be broken up into many days
Right.
that a teacher can use. And as we stated before, when you're looking at the curriculum, we have a stage 1, which are your desired results, the big ideas, the essential questions that the students are going to be researching and answering, and your enduring understandings.
Very good.
When we look at stage 2, your assessment evidence, At this time, it's still being formulated and worked on. Sometimes, depending on the time period and the contemporary look, we do have to occasionally revise our assessment evidence because we want to reflect upon the past, but also give a more modern view. So sometimes our assessment evidence has to be revised through your internet search. So once again, you have the background knowledge for the teacher, the objectives of what we're going to learn, the materials. And as we saw before, it was quite an extensive material list for this particular lesson.
Okay.
The warm-up activity, key figures, and once again, in this particular lesson, it had numerous key figures that contributed: Randall Robinson, Leon Sullivan, Harry Belafonte. And for each, there were particular aspects that gave information about their lives as well as their work into this particular subject area and matter. It gives you group activities. It gives you independent activities for children. And once again, at the end, it gives you an exit ticket so that you can clearly see, even though you may not do a full written exit ticket with your students, you can do a quick reflection, a real quick check to make sure that they have at least picked up information that you've taught within this lesson. And that'll determine whether you need to go back and reteach or if you're ready for closure to close out the lesson and go on to your next topic.
Very good. Very good. So we just went through, I believe it was 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and high school for our educators. Is there any other? So I see professional development and get involved in. Are there things
Mhm.
that we would like to share with somebody that's coming new to the site?
Those coming new to the site, there's many things that we could take a look at. One of the things that I enjoy, one of my very favorite sites, is the historical sites around New Jersey. I love visiting the sites when we go to create our information to place on our website. Currently, we've been to the T. Thomas Fortune Cultural Center in Red Bank, New Jersey. We've been to the Peter Mott House in Lawnside, New Jersey. And currently, we have the Camden County Institute of Technology students creating a documentary video for the Peter Mott House that should be ready by the time our Summer Institute comes around.
That'll be interesting.
So we have the children doing virtual field trips for us. They're creating virtual reality field trips, going and filming all the aspects of each particular historical site. So right now, Peter Mott House is under production. The Underground Railroad Museum of Burlington County will be creating a new documentary series for students, and that's going to be coming up very soon, possibly the fall of next year. And also, as we journey through Atlantic City, this particular section for Atlantic County was created last year by the Atlantic County Institute of Technology students.
Okay.
And as we journey through Atlantic City, there are numerous sites that the children stop through to take information and form it into a virtual field trip for others. And at the bottom is their video that they are turning into a documentary.
Very good.
And when they turn it into the documentary, they are entering it in national history.
Welcome aboard, passengers. Join us on a journey through Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is rich with African American history and would not have been the same without the countless African Americans who helped build the city and its culture. Although the city was founded in 1854, African Americans' role in Atlantic City began in the early 1900s due to the Great Migration. The Great Migration was a time period where African Americans were leaving the South and searching for opportunity in the North. Atlantic City faced the influx of African Americans who played roles jobs all over, from owning businesses to helping build the city. To assist us with the tour, we have local expert and former Superior Court Judge Nelson Johnson, who has written multiple books on African American history. He says the jobs that Black people took on were.
That's a great. That's
So The children read the book, The North Side,
Hmm.
in their ELA classes, English classes. The social studies teachers assisted them with the background knowledge. The visual and performing arts teachers assisted them with the creation of the video. And then the district itself assisted them with transportation out to all of the sites so that they could form a complete documentary of the sites in Atlantic City that were historical in many aspects.
Very good.
So, as I said, the Peter Mott House in Lawnside is currently underway and being filmed. It took me out.
Okay.
Professional development, go back into historical sites. But each of them has a video documentary that's being created so that as field trips become possibly difficult for students to go into, they will at least have a documentary that children and their teachers can enjoy during their school day.
Very good.
And what better mind of children to see what a child would like to see in their point of view? Adults can give us the reference of the information and all the details. But when the children go out, even though they're high school students and they're much more bigger than normal,
Right.
the little children, they know what they want to see. They know what aspects are important.
Right.
So it's like children know what they want to view and they know what the documentary should see to keep the attention of the younger children.
Very good. And so, what are some other things that a new teacher or teachers can get involved with? I believe you have coordinated teachers leader program.
Yes, we do. There's a future educator section. And those that are coming in to become new educators, we invite them to attend our summer institutes. And with future educators, we invite them to not just join our summer institute, but join us year round for all of our events. And that way they can see firsthand when the Amistad Commission is working with teachers and classrooms and working with districts, you can see what we're trying to accomplish within each visit that we make within school districts. So even before they become teachers out in the real world, so to speak,
Right.
they can come to the Summer Institute to see what the Amistad should look like when it becomes infused in their classrooms. And they can also come to, as I said, to the Summer Institute. And within the Summer Institute, it's a 3-day series of learning. And it's open to any educator within the state of New Jersey.
Okay.
We're not just limited to teachers. We're not just limited to supervisors. We have school board members that come to visit the Summer Institute. We have instructional assistants that come to visit the Summer Institute. We have those working in all aspects of education, whether you're a curriculum specialist, an instructional aide, a one-to-one aide for children, an educational leader. Anyone is able to come that works in the field of education. This year it's going to be held at Keene University from July 28th through July 30th. And we're right now creating some enjoyable breakout sessions as well as whole group sessions for teachers to enjoy in all disciplines, K through 12. So it's not just limited to social studies teachers or upper grade teachers, kindergarten teachers through 12th grade teachers. As I said in the very beginning, we encourage teachers to look at all of the grade levels. High school teachers, take a look at the elementary teachers' lesson plans so you can springboard on ideas to create different avenues of teaching within your own subject matter. And there's templates and lesson plans throughout the entire series, K to 12.
Very good. And so if the more seasoned teachers, I guess, are they able to assist the commission with actually writing lesson plans and actually can be compensated, correct?
Yes, they can. One more thing about the Summer Institute that I do want to extend to teachers that come within, even though it's a 3-day Summer Institute, it doesn't just end there. So before we jump into lesson plans, there is a section called Teaching Inclusively. Our internet is a little slow today.
That's right.
Institute continues throughout the school year. So you just don't get a summer teaching session.
Hmm.
There are 6 continual modules that teachers can look at through the entire school year. that continue on with what we started within the summer aspects. So I believe, Dr. Mills, your question was about teachers and lesson plans, the Get Involved section. So when we look at getting involved within the Amistad Commission, we're not just asking you to come and watch. We're asking you to jump in and join us. Throughout the year, we do events. We did an Afro-Latino History Day event in October, and we'll do it again this year. For grades 4 through 12, we're doing African American History Day contest for grades 4 and 5 to get them ready for National History Day that they can enter when they're in grades 6 through 12. We have a teacher leadership committee. And in our teacher leadership committee, all an individual would need to do is just simply click on this particular aspect under Get Involved. Within the Teacher Leadership Committee, we meet once a month, and we also discuss lessons and topics and strategies that teachers are using throughout the state of New Jersey, so that teachers that are in the southern portion of the state can share their ideas with teachers in the northern part of the state. Essentially, we'd like to have a teacher within every county on our Teacher Leadership Committee. But currently, right now, we have an abundance of teachers working with us. So in some counties, we have 2 or 3 teachers within a particular yeah. But we look at teachers from kindergarten through 12th grade because, as we said, we service everyone in the education field from kindergarten through 12th grade. So teachers, if you'd like to become involved with us, don't just think as high school teachers or just social studies teachers. Elementary school teachers teach all subjects within their school day. But we'd like to have you within our organization because in our Summer Institute, we're not just teaching upper grades and we're not just teaching social studies. Our breakout sessions are geared for elementary, middle, and high school teachers.
Very good.
So if teachers would like to become involved, we'd like to have you join us. And as I mentioned, when teachers are teaching something excellent and they'd like to share it with others, what better way than to join us and receive a stipend for having your lesson plan posted within our learning units?
Very
I'm
good.
sure there's plenty
Yeah.
of teachers out there that do marvelous and exemplary lesson plans, and we'd love to have them on board with our learning units to share with teachers across the state of New Jersey. But once again, since this is internet-based, it's not just going to stop in New Jersey. We can share our Amistad Commission website with anyone that logs in. So it's not just New Jersey teachers, but we're a New Jersey-based commission.
Yes. And so I think that it could be very encouraging, especially for a teacher who's been teaching a while, who already has some great stuff. They can, you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel. You may already have something, and that could be submitted and join the team here, or at least work with the team here. We got about 2 minutes left. I want to first thank you for joining us on this episode. I hope that we can further this with other instructional videos for our educators. What's a parting thing that you would like to say about the curriculum website to any teachers at all, or just even the general public?
The most important thing is when we're looking at the website and you're looking at the lesson plans, don't become intimidated by trying to encompass all of the information in one complete plan. Take the time to sit down and read through everything first. There's a lot of information, and even though a lesson plan on our site may be slated for 45 minutes, you have to go by the ability level of your children. They guide and direct how your teaching will flow. And when we look at the particular lesson plans, and as I said, don't become intimidated by the facts and information. History is this, that. It's the history. It was the way it occurred, unfortunately, in some circumstances. But when you're teaching history, there's a myriad of ways that it can be incorporated in your daily teaching. Once again, we're just not the Social Studies Black History Month people. We're just not here for 1 month. We're just not here for one discipline. It can be infused in any area, any academic subject. And if you just want to start with one very small idea or topic, begin there. Something that you're comfortable with, something that you have knowledge with, and don't be afraid to work with others within your department. and do interdisciplinary and thematic teaching. You may take just one aspect. You may have a colleague that has more information and more expertise. Share the wealth, share the knowledge. And as an Amistad Commission, we're working to ensure that African American history is infused within the curriculum throughout K through 12. We're not just looking at only social studies. We're not just looking at one particular area of the state. We want to infuse within the entire state of New Jersey. So don't be afraid. Jump in, join us. And if you have any questions, as Dr. Mills has information on here, you can always contact us and we will come out to assist you, or you can email us or give us a call.
Right. And so folks that do have questions, they can email the commission at amistad@doe.nj.gov. And so thank you for joining us today for this episode. And we will be putting up more opportunities and more episodes. I hope that you join us for those also too.
Yes, exactly. Please feel free to invite me back because
Okay.
once I start talking about Amistad, as you know, Dr. Mills, as we work together, we just can't stop.
Right. Very good. All right. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. You can reach the Commission with any questions or inquiries about how you can contribute to this effort to amistad@doe.nj.gov. This is the New Jersey Amistad Podcast, brought to you in partnership with the New Jersey Education Association, the American Federation of Teachers, the New Jersey Principals and Supervisors Association, the New Jersey Association of School Administrators, the Statewide Parent Advocacy Network, the Garden State Coalition of Schools, and the New Jersey Leadership for Educational Excellence.